Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're live and on the air, and we're going to roll over to Memphis. Going to talk to the head coach of the Christian Brothers Purple Wave, head coach Thomas McDaniel. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm tired, brother.
Are you?
I'm tired, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep battling.
Are you? Where did you start losing? Did you start losing sleep Saturday night or Sunday, or you just can't go to bed, or what?
Uh, no, man. It's just I don't know. It's we're getting healthy. Had a great week of practice. I got nothing but roses. I mean, I told the kids after practice yesterday. We talked about roses, thorns, and buds, and finding the roses that we have, and we've got a bunch of them right now. We're getting some kids back from injuries, and we haven't, knock on wood, had any COVID issues this week. But it's just, you just get sucked into it 7-8 weeks now, where it's just super long days and not a whole lot of sleep. So it just, at the ripe old age of 43, it starts to wear on you a little quicker.
I hear you. So, how's the kids doing?
My kids or the football?
No, let's start with your kids first.
Oh, yeah. My kids are doing awesome. Their school year started off great. I got one in guitar. I've got one in softball. The guitar players in soccer. So they're doing great. They got to come home today and go swimming. They don't get to use the pool this time of year as much as I would like them to, but they got to swim this afternoon. So life's good, man. They ain't got nothing but roses. But, they're doing awesome.
Getting back to your team and talk to Coach Rankin, he was talking about a couple of his players had stepped up and gotten vaccinated. Has that occurred a little bit on the Purple Wave?
Yeah, we've had a bunch of them that have been vaccinated.
Congratulations, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah. The issue for us has been, when you really read the recommendations by the CDC and then at the local level with the Shelby County Health Department, the vaccination is basically your get out of jail for free card. And so the contact tracing are issues that are occurring in a lot of these school systems. We don't have some of them because we're wearing masks. That's one thing. And we're doing a good job of our school of continuing to space people out because we have the ability to do so. But, regardless of whatever the scenario is, if you're vaccinated, fully vaccinated, which is kind of tricky because it's a 5-week process when you really think about it, because you got to get the shot, you got to wait 2 weeks to get another shot, and then it takes 2 more weeks after your second dose before you're actually quote unquote fully vaccinated. It's just some of it's reactionary in the sense that I continue to go back to what's happening in Middle and East Tennessee was happening to us 3 weeks ago, and
Okay.
so I can only speak for my school personally and my football team, but like we were dealing with things, and I was talking to other people, and they're like, "No, everything's good," and then it's like, well, what the hell's going on with us? It's not going on in the rest of the state. But as you know, Memphis, I guess, is just considered Eastern Arkansas, and it just, I don't know, man. It took longer for it to get moving that direction. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but we went all summer with no issues. I mean, we really, I think everybody would tell you that we went through our entire summer and feeling like, all right, we're back to normal finally.
Right.
And everybody that's having these issues right now, like Ben, I was dealing with them 3 weeks ago. And so it was super discouraging, as I told you when we first started the season, because everybody, including me, I thought we were over this crap. And we're over it for a lot of reasons. Number one, I mean, it's been 20 months now, and who would have thought that, 19, 20 months ago that we were still going to be dealing with this, but here we are 20 months later, and we are still dealing with it. It's real. And, regardless of wherever you stand on the conversation, the reality is taking a toll on our entire society, and anti-vax or not, it's just, a lot of it's out of our control. Only thing I know is at the end of the day, we got to practice today. We're going to, today, again, knock on wood, we're going to get to play Friday, so we're very fortunate. I know last Friday night, 30 contests, 60 schools were postponed or canceled, and I'm seeing that number grow every day via Twitter from people that I know. And so we got to go practice today. We got to be a team, and for that, it's a gift.
Uh, do you think a lot of those schools will try to just basically do? Just got off the phone with Ben Cottle and Stewart's Creek. I mean, some of those coaches that you are you just advising them if there's not really that much you can do, you need to go ahead and either pull the plug now and try to do a reboot? Is that what you would suggest? I mean, as a coaches association?
Yeah. Every situation in and of itself is very different. And,
yeah.
We try to take as many precautions as we can to mitigate risk, and at the end of the day, man, it's just kind of luck of the draw. And Ben's been given a real tough hand, handling as best he can, but it's just a tough situation, and it's again nobody's fault. There's no one to take the blame, but it's just like I was talking to a parent today, and you can't win in all this stuff. I mean, for me, the wins are. I just know for me personally, the wins are we get to go to practice, we get to be together on the field, we get to be doing something we love, and the kids need football. They need to be around a family outside of their home, and this is their second home. So that stuff to me is wins. And when you get to go out and compete against somebody else, that's a win. When you, it happened to us last year. It was on a Sunday, and I had to call my seniors and say, my gut was telling me. My gut competitively was telling me, let's go find a team to play. My gut of a coward was saying, let's rest up and get ready for NBA. And so, we went and played Conway High School out of Arkansas on short notice when we could have took a week off and rested, because I was like, kids deserve to play. Give them a chance to play. Who gives a crap about your records? And, I think what you got to always look at, again, when you just stop and you really genuinely consume what's going on, is if you're really doing it for the right reasons, if you're doing it for the kids, then put the kids in the best situation. I say all that because, I have people complain within our program about, well, why don't we have team meals? Why don't we do this? I'm like, it's not a great idea to get everybody together in a small location because things could blow up quickly, but my number one responsibility above everything else is the team. And if that means we got to cut some stuff out of our quote-unquote program development or things that I would love to do culturally within our program, then I'm going to do that to give our team the best opportunity to play on Fridays. Again, you can take every risk assessment possible, take every precaution, and you still cannot control the uncontrollables, and that is, a family member or the fact that you're only around them for X number of hours, and we're all human beings and we make mistakes. And at the end of the day, they're 16-year-old kids, and they're going to grab each other and they want to sit in each other's car and they want to go to Chick-fil-A together. And I get that. And so you can preach it, but it's just we're all dealing with something that we have no control over, and that's unfortunate.
Well, Coach, there's nobody that plays the card out better than you. I mean, you lay it out there, and that's from a human standpoint, from the player's standpoint, from the parent's standpoint, from the coach's standpoint, from the fan's standpoint. You just do a wonderful job, and that's the reason why you're president of the Coaches Association. You don't like it, I know, but you're daggone good at it. We love you, and thank you for sharing that with us. You're 2-0. You take us a little bit through Sheffield and 59-0, Coach, but you were on the field and you got that time with the Purple Wave. Take me through it a little bit.
Again, it's a situation that nobody enjoys. It's the dilemma of what happens in socioeconomically disadvantaged communities where you have a team like the bottom line is, man, Sheffield needed that game. Those are games where we have non-region. There's so many dynamics that I can go through with you about why we have to play those games. But you look at the Memphis 5 and 6A regions, and they're big. They're large regions. They don't need non-region games. And when you couple that with so there you go. Like whatever team you want to put in there as an example. Like I'll use Germantown.
Okay.
Germantown. They could easily find games that are winnable, quote-unquote, games easier than a Christian Brothers or an MUS, and yet Gene wants to play those games. I mean, again, commendable to him that he wants to do that. But when you're playing in a region or a league where you've got some of these big 6A schools, you need to find some breaks in there somewhere. We all need them. I get that. So there's just no like even ground. There's not like there's not a team where, hey, we can have good competition and it may not be an overtime game or a bloody nose affair, but it's at least, respectable.
Right.
And, when Sheffield comes over to our place, again, I feel for their coaches and their kids. We're giving them a fee to come over and play us, and it probably does a great deal of service for their budget, but it doesn't do anything for their kids. I mean, coming over and getting beat 59-0, nobody enjoys that. I sure don't.
I mean at what point? What did you do, Coach? You knew you were going to. You knew your players were. I don't want to say better, but just so much more fundamentally sound. Let's use that. I don't want to say somebody's better than somebody. You were fundamentally.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, they've got issues with I say they. I don't know what Coach Kirkendall's going through there, but I mean, we don't have any issues with tackling dummies or girdles these are issues that I don't have to deal with, and they do. So I mean,
right.
They've got tons of, and so. And shoot, that's how I met Gene Robinson. I met Gene because he was at Fairleigh, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you have older shoulder pads? Do you have older?" And again, I formed a relationship with him because it's like, man, I just want to help kids.
Yeah.
And so it was bottom line. It was a tough situation. The team, they won their first game 38-6.
Good for them.
It's not a matchup that. Is conducive really for either group. We got to play a lot of kids. That's awesome. You don't like looking across the field and seeing 25 kids.
Right.
I don't like looking up and seeing 5 kids on their sideline that have the pads off because they're injured. There's just not a whole lot of game. Now, we got to have another game in Tom Nick Stadium. We had a great student section. Our student body showed up and was awesome. But this Friday will be a heck of a lot more fun. From a competitive standpoint, and obviously we'll have to be ready to go if we're going to compete well against Innsworth.
You get on the road, yeah, you're going to come to Nashville, it looks like, and you're going to take on the Innsworth. It's here? Is it your place?
Yeah, no. We have 5 or 6 home games in a row. It's nuts.
Oh, wow. Then that was rocked the other way, I guess. I'm sorry. But you take on Innsworth, and they're coming to you, Rock Bait, and he's 1-1. What do you know about this crew? Because it's not the old Innsworth when they had Cornelder.
No.
And Cornelder, he was a Patriot. He was an Oakland Patriot. We'll go ahead and put that out. He should have been at Oakland. But
he was not an Oakland Patriot. He was a Central Tiger.
Really?
But he chose to not. Yeah, he was never an Oakland Patriot. He should have been.
But should have been. Yes, he should have been an Oakland Patriot. That's what I want to say.
He should have been. Yeah, he would have made me look a hell of a lot better. But they're a good football team. Rock is a buddy of mine. Again, he's on the TNFCA board with me. So is Gene at Germantown.
Okay.
And Rock's a great football coach. I think a lot of Rock Batten. He's been successful everywhere he's been. They beat a good ECS team week 1, and then they got beat pretty handily by a very good Baylor football team week 2. They probably deceivingly, it was just one of those games. We've all been in them on either side. I've been in them on both sides where every single thing goes one team's way, and that's kind of what happened to Innsworth the other night. They had Baylor started off with a sack, fumble, scoop and score, busted a big pass play on a post, several turnovers. It just, it was 42-14 at half, and I can promise you, all due respect to Baylor, if they play 10 times, it's never going to ever be 42-14 at half usually. But so then you take the second half of that game and you can basically throw the data or whatever you see on the screen, you can throw it out because at 42-14, it's a different ball game. And Baylor lined up and just kind of milked it as much as they could, which I would do the exact same thing. And Innsworth had to throw it every time. So what I do know is they're typical Innsworth. Their numbers are not going to be quite as large as ours. It looks like, as far as their roster and sideline that they probably carry about 65 kids. Not as many linemen bodies, so they have several guys that are trying to play both ways, and in our league, that's really hard to do. That should be an advantage for us. Should be an advantage that they traveled last week to Chattanooga. They got to turn around and travel to Memphis. But they got great skill position players. They're very athletic on the perimeter on both sides of the ball. Secondary is very skilled. Receivers are dynamic. Quarterback, I think, is one heck of a competitor. Took a lot of shots, and he made a lot of plays against Baylor. So we got our hands full. Again, it'll be a great challenge to be first region game, and you always want to win that first region game. So a lot on the line, and it should be a lot of fun.
Do you feel like you're ready for this one? Is this come at a good time? I mean, or would you rather be playing a MUS or a Briarcrest, or is this coming at the right time? This Ensworth opponent for you?
Well, it don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter whether it's coming at the right time or not. The bottom line is that's what's on the schedule, and this is what we're 0-0, and we need to win. We need to win this one. This one is the most important game on the schedule at this moment, and. Now, all that being said, with the hurricane and everything that's happened and the weather, I don't know what the weather's been like for y'all, but I thought for sure we were going to be rained out for 2 days, and actually we've had we got rained on Monday, but we were out in the field, so again, that's roses for us, because I thought we were going to be inside, and we got to go out and practice, and that was great. And then I'm on the phone, baby. My youngest daughter just said she owes her $10. Okay,
that's cool.
Those are the problems I got to deal with right now when I get home.
Okay.
So anyway, I mean, we were able to get out and practice on Monday. We didn't have a whole lot of weather issues. Yesterday was beautiful. We had a good day today. We've had 3 great days of practice. But as you know, you've been around it long enough. You have a great week. You feel great about your plan. Kids are locked in. Assignments are good. And then you go out and you don't execute, or you have a bad week of practice and they go out and play lights out. So, I mean, again, if anybody's saying different, they're fooling you. We're putting our success in the hands of 16-year-olds, and there's always a lot of what ifs. So it's never the way you think it's going to be. But again, great challenge for us. Going to be a fun atmosphere. Very tough opponent, and first region game, so I'm excited about it.
Well, we've got to ask, and I know you are, but is Saturday, is it all-day football and Coach McDaniel and out by the pool, and are you smoking something? I mean, what do we got going on?
I haven't thought about that yet. Actually, funny enough, my wife just spoke about it when I got home, but I think there will be I'm sure I'll work Saturday morning, but I usually try to get out of the office around noon. And, yeah, man, I mean, at some point I know that I'm going to be sitting in a flotation device in the pool, and I've got a TV out back, and there will be something on the grill, and I'll be watching college football and just enjoying time with my girls. And yeah, so, again, super, super blessed. Every day is I don't know, man. I'm living my dream, and I don't ever take it for granted. I don't know what has happened to me over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, but I recognize that I'm very fortunate. I'm lucky. I get to do what I love. I don't work a day in my life, and for that, I'm super grateful.
Well, Coach, it happens to all of us. I mean, I said it the other day. I mean, I'm going to get to go over, and I'm the luckiest man in the world that I'll be sitting in the right spot Friday night. I've got the backyard brawl in front of me, Riverdale and Blackman. I mean, and, I don't, I mean, I was talking to somebody, I was telling Krager last night. I said, Krager, I mean, we were talking about doing a college football game. Lord have mercy, I don't want to do a college football game. I went over there to film Tavis, and we would leave here at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning to do a 1 o'clock game, and then it's 3.5, 4 hours, and then finally get home 7, 8 o'clock. I mean, you don't want to do nothing. I mean, people don't have any idea that if you're on a high school game is a long day, but a college game, woo, that's a whole different ball game of a long day, isn't it?
It is. But again, most people that are involved in it is because they love it. And then I don't know, man, my prayer for us as a community and country and society is let's don't lose sight of why we're supposed to be doing this. We're doing this to help young people, to help build people up, and again, you water the bamboo or you plant the seeds, and you don't ever know. You just don't ever know. What, like the time, energy, effort, the commitment, all that stuff. It's supposed to be so much greater than wins and losses. But like last week, I had a kid that started for me my first year at Oakland. Played fullback, played linebacker, super quiet kid, and he reached out to me through social media and said something to me, and I'm like, man, that you can't put a price tag on that. So I was super hardcore back then. I mean, I really was probably an egomaniac and didn't know what I was doing and was just kind of ruling with an iron fist. And for him still to like reach out to me and say some of the things he said, I mean, I just like, those are the wins. Those are the ones that really matter. Those are the, I mean, as you would say, the skin's on the, on the wall. So I just love it.
Well, and Coach, you cared. I mean, we knew you cared. I mean, it wasn't. In the younger days, even when I first met you, and we started it was 2012 when you lost video against Phillip. Basically, or 2011. Maybe in 2011.
Yeah.
It was 11 because we played Itavis and you didn't have a video.
Yep.
But we go back to that moment and you just, at one point, you were so mad. You did an interview with me, and it was all about kids just getting to class on time, and you were just like, they're going to have to be at work on time. I mean, you may have to sign up for buy a house or do something. It's going to be very important for you to be on time. Why can't you be on time for class? And and you were talking about 2 or 3 kids that you knew were going to be late, and they showed up late, and you were just like, I'm not going to deal with the entitlement. And you're right, and I mean, it's still there, but the kids need to understand, and we're not trying to say go back through the years, but there was a little bit greater respect for the system and your mother and dad and just being on time and there's just certain things, you just don't go there. You don't do them, Coach. No way. Mm-mm.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think about the fact that people see these things on social media, but kids don't change, man. It's the adult. Like we have a responsibility.
Yes, sir.
And if it's as a parent, and again for me as a coach, I have a responsibility to hold kids to a higher standard. And,
absolutely.
And help grow them and teach them and mold them and mentor them and all those things, they all matter. You gotta do the right thing, man. You gotta look presentable. You gotta be respectful. You gotta treat people good. And sometimes that causes tough conversations. It makes people uncomfortable, and sometimes you piss people off. But I'm not really worried about people's feelings, to be quite frank about it. I'm worried about I'm worried about my football team trying to help our sport and help grow young men. And we don't have enough of that right now. And so, again, blessings for me. I've been gifted an unbelievable responsibility and opportunity, and sometimes it's awesome, sometimes it's tough. But I know at the end of the day that I'm getting to do what I love. And again, we've all been there, where you have these moments. The victories are fun, man, and the defeats hurt. But like the real wins are seeing these young guys grow up and turn into men and fathers and unbelievable citizens. And I got so many stories about that it's just again, it's just a huge blessing.
Coach, we love you. We hope you have a great Friday night. We hope you come away with a victory, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
See you. Bye.